You're watching Truth versus Hype. We're outside the headquarters of the 16th Cavalry Armoured Regiment in Samba in Jammu, where on the cusp of talks between the heads of state of India and Pakistan, 3 terrorists managed to sneak in. Violence and killing ensued. Their goal may have been to strain already tense equations between both countries, but they also managed to expose the flaws of a security establishment clearly unprepared for a new season of violence. On the road to the international border in a BSF vehicle. This is the stretch of the border with Pakistan in Kathua district. It's from somewhere here that the 3 terrorists are meant to have slipped in.
और एक सेंटर में है, 2 बीच में, ये देखो.
The BSF in charge of protecting the border has allowed us here to demonstrate that this is not possible.
Now the BSF, which protects the border, denies the possibility that they could have infiltrated from here. They point to the many layers of security. At the starting point you have a double-layered barbed wire fence which is almost 10 to 11 feet high, and if the camera can point down there, there's a concertina wire in the middle which is also known as a cobra wire because it's electrified. You can see actually the electric points. In addition to that, you can see, if the camera can pan here, that there are BSF posts. Almost every 200 meters or so there is a BSF post. Here's a post that you can see, and if the camera can pan further down, just beyond these floodlights is the next post.
I think it's important that we...
But the Chief Minister of Jammu and Kashmir says the border is not foolproof.
How did they get across the border?
They walked across. Quite simply, they walked across.
There's a fence.
No, I think it's important again to understand that not the entire border is fenced, because you have a lot of gullies and nalas where fencing is not possible, and particularly immediately after the monsoons, there are areas where the fencing has been damaged. Areas where anyway we don't put fence, as I said, in these gullies and nalas, there is concertina wire.
Right.
There are other sort of measures.
So these are the gaps.
There are gaps that are there.
But this is worrying then.
It is worrying. It is worrying, and it's something that we did discuss in a fair amount of detail today. That these nalas need to be plugged. If we can't do it through physical barriers, we need to make technological barriers
to do so.
Available to do so.
From the border, the terrorists made their way to a village a kilometer away, where they seized by gunpoint the auto belonging to this man, now wounded by a bullet.
हरिया चक से बैठे 8 तो बैठते ही उन्होंने मुझे बंदी बना लिया, ठीक है. उन्होंने गन रख ली मेरे ऐसे इस जगह पे. जाते जाते हीरानगर की तरफ चले गए, सीधा हीरानगर फ्लाईओवर क्रॉस किया तो उनके पास एक मोबाइल जैसा सिस्टम. उन्होंने जब देखा उसमें 0 से जा रहे थे. बोलते आप उल्टी गाली दिया, बोलते कि आप हमें पागल बनाकर आगे ले आए, वापस मोड़ा, रंग साइड ही मोड़ा. मैंने आते वक्त उन्होंने देखे तो जैसे पुलिस वाले देखे, उन्होंने ऑटो रुकवाने की कोशिश की. जैसे उन्होंने बोला कि ऑटो रोको, मैंने छलांग लगा दी. नीचे गिर गया. गिरते हुए जैसे मैं गिरा तो पीछे बैठे थे 2 आदमी, उन्होंने ब्रेस्ट दिया हुआ. AK-47 मुझे 3 गोली लगी. बाद मुझे पता नहीं वो चलेगी थाने के.
At Hiranagar police station, the reminders of the violence are still visible. But these are the far more disturbing blood-soaked images from a day earlier, on the morning the terrorists arrived. The first to die was the sentry at the entrance of the police station, Shiv Kumar. Next to be killed, additional Sub-Inspector Ratan Singh. The terrorists then climbed to the barracks on the first floor and shot down Mukesh Kumar and Pradeep Singh.
For about 10 minutes, the militants went on a killing spree inside this Hiranagar police station. And it is fairly clear that they were not challenged even once. That is not because of lack of arms or men. The sanctioned strength here is about 67 policemen who are armed with AK-47, INS rifles and SLRs. But not even a single shot was fired.
The day after we visit, the scene in the barracks is much the same. This constable who was witness to the attack describes how the police threw themselves out of the window.
कितने बजे की बात होगी?
तकरीबन 6:30.
फिर क्या हुआ?
फिर यही सर अफरा तफरी में कोई इधर कोई छलांग लगा गया, कोई इधर कोई छलांग लगा गया. तो पहले छलांग लगा गए वो बच गए, बाद में देर में वो ऊपर आ गए, उन्होंने इधर से मार दिया नीचे.
खिड़कियों से छलांगे मारे?
जी.
कितने लोग थे इस रूम में?
7 थे.
और आपके पास हथियार उस वक्त नहीं थे?
हथियार नहीं थे उस वक्त.
हथियार कहाँ पे थे? नीचे थे?
हाँ जी.
आप कैसे बचे?
ऐसे ही सर भगवान ने बचा लिया.
तो बेड के नीचे भी छुप गए थे?
बेड के नीचे मैं ही था सर.
अच्छा नीचे.
We find the SHO, the only unscathed survivor, in his home at the back of the police station, where he was supposed to have hidden himself as his men died. He, of course, denies this.
आप अपने क्वार्टर में थे या क्वार्टर में थे? तो कितने देर तक यहाँ पे चला? मतलब 10 मिनट कोई आधा घंटा?
8 से 10 मिनट.
8 से 10 मिनट.
तो पूरा टाइम जब आप क्वार्टर में थे आपको सुनाई दिया, आपने कुछ रिएक्ट वगैरह किया, क्या हुआ?
हाँ जैसे सुनाई दिया, उसके बाद बाहर निकले तो वो बाहर
निकल चले गए थे.
But what I find difficult to fathom is how a fairly well fortified police station could be overrun the way this was done. I mean, this is something
What is that? I mean, you are chief minister, so you can't entirely wash your hands off responsibility.
I don't want to get into the details. Obviously, we will have to inquire into the exact circumstances of what happened.
At the homes of those who lost their lives, the other side of the so-called absence of valor. Grief has crippled Mukesh Kumar's mother.